Welcome to VDG Sports. I'm your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. Football Friday? Yes, it is Football Festive Friday. Not Hot Fire Friday, but Festive Friday. Therefore, I'm going to keep this on a positive note, I suppose. But I came across this piece where it was suggesting that maybe football is at the breaking point, meaning that too many games are being played and the players, and there's a few players that were quoted saying that there are too many games being played. I completely agree. But how are we going to fix that? First, stop adding more games, whether it's in the league or whether it's an exhibition in the sense of some kind of a new international tournament. The ones that are there and the ones that are relevant, you can keep them. But for the most part, this is gonna take all hands, everyone involved, to try to get it so that the fans and the people that want to watch this product, because that, I assume, is the reason why there being more and more games, because the more and more games because of demand, and the demand is high because people want to see these games, see these matches. But the con of that, or the unintended consequence of that, the players are getting burnt out and the quality is basically suffering. You can only have so many high quality games before there is a line where it's a quantity versus quality, and you reach that midpoint where X amount of games puts you into it's not quality anymore, and then X, you get it. Okay, so that being the first thing, if it's national, meaning if it's just league play, of course the manager can rotate players and play this player, maybe play another player, depending on how the team's set up, whether or not he has that availability to make changes as such, because his main goal is to win trophies and keep his job. It's not to make sure that in an overall grand scheme of things that everybody gets rest and is working for the greater good. So I can understand that. As far as international wise, I'm sure there's rotation going on. I'm sure there isn't any more games than there has been. If so, please let me know. I'm not all knowing. I can admit that. And if this international match isn't really giving anything appealing or isn't offering anything up as a reason to be playing, then possibly the player can whisper in the manager's ear and say, I need a little bit of rest. There are ways to work around. There are ways to come together and try to figure out how to get the players more rest and how to make sure that everybody's fresh, whether it's physically, whether it's mentally, with the number of games being there, because the demand for the games and the demand for the matches is high because people want to see them. So they're going to keep pumping out. They're going to keep wanting to extend. They're going to keep wanting to add more. I'd say instead of adding more networks, people with the TV deals and TV contracts, how about promoting other leagues, promoting some of your medium tier leagues, promoting some of your smaller leagues just as much as you promote the top five or the big players or the big international tournaments. You can do that and see what the returns are and adjust accordingly. That is still games that are there to consume and they're available. Because if the top dogs, if the superstar players aren't available to play these matches and events that you promote, you're pretty much losing. You're pretty much not getting the returns you want and that could have been used or utilized elsewhere. This is going to take some deeper thinking. This is going to take a little bit more thought than just saying, let's just add more games or let's just get rid of games, because I don't think that they're adding more league games, and I don't think some of the leagues are adding more tournaments within the league. This is probably more of an international thing, and if this is, as I say, I'm not all knowing. I got a secret. Not everybody really watches international football that way. Not everybody really gives a flip about international football that way, especially if it's not one of the big ones, especially if it's not any of the big ones and it's just some put together tournament just to have funds increase and raise the bottom dollar or raise the bottom line. I'm gonna say you probably should rethink that or look at the numbers a little bit harder, because it's not gonna work out, and it's probably not working out. And I'm just saying this from my point of view and from the peeps and people that I know when it comes to the international games and the international tournaments. I'm just one. They're just two or three or the tens, and you can probably extrapolate that or get more data and demographics and figure out, pinpoint it exactly and see. And I'll just sit back and wait. But adding more, please don't. Try quality over quantity. Quality over quantity, and if you really need more, promote some of the others. Promote some of the other leagues. Because if you are suggesting that you can put bad football in front of fans and have them watching and engage, there you go. And I'm not saying that some of those smaller leagues or the medium or those are bad. They have elements. MLS, I'm looking at you. Shout out.